Christmas glazed ham. It's so delicious. And I think the best part is actually the leftover ham hock. I always freeze it, and as soon as the weather changes, I defrost it to make a pea and ham soup. Now I'm going to take my classic pea and ham soup recipe and change it slightly to make a pea and ham risotto all in one pot. This is super delicious. My little boy absolutely loves this. So we're going to start with a casserole pot just like this one. This one's a stainless steel one, and it's about 5 litres, which is perfect to fit a whole hock. Now, if you haven't saved your Christmas ham hock, of course you can buy these everywhere at your supermarket or your local butcher. So into some cold water. To that, I'm going to add some dried split peas. And what I've done is just given them a really good rinse. So they go in. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but this is going to be enough to thicken up our soup. Next, we're going to add half an onion, and I like to use cloves to flavour the soup. I also just stud the onion so we don't have to worry about finding these later on. We can just scoop it out with the onion. So in with that to flavour our soup, along with a bouquet garni, which is a combination of bay leaves and some thyme. You could also add some parsley if you like. Some carrot. I'm just going to cut the carrot into smaller pieces. And that goes. This is all going to be blended later on. And then some celery, 3 stalks of celery. And then that can go in too. So it's quite full at the moment, but this is going to come up to the boil. So we'll just turn our pot on. You'll see some impurities come to the surface. All you need to do is just skim that off. Once it starts to boil, turn it down. I'll pop the lid on and then just let that bubble away for an hour or 2, or until that meat is super tender and falling off the bone. Oh, it smells good in here. Let's have a look. Yes, see we've got that lovely distinct green colour. Now this ham hock is completely cooked. It's nice and tender. Use a slotted spoon to take the ham hock out. And I'll just grab my plate, bring it towards me, and then on it goes. And I'm just going to allow that to cool down slightly so we can shred the meat. Now what I like to do is also find that onion. There it is there. And we'll just take out the bit that has all those little cloves and we can discard that. I'll also try to fish out the bouquet garni. There it is there. We don't want that either because we now need to blend this until it's smooth. Now I don't want this to be too thick because I'm going to be adding some rice. This is going to be the risotto component to thicken it up. So I'll give this a really good blend until it's smooth. Okay, that is exactly how I need this soup. And I want to show you how thin it is. See, it's very runny. So if you were serving the soup as is, that would be a little bit too thin. But now here comes the one pot risotto magic. I'll add about a cup of risotto rice. Because it is starchy, it's also going to make it super creamy. So pot goes back on. In with our risotto rice, we'll just measure that out. And this now needs to cook for a further 20 minutes. So we're going to constantly stir it just so that rice doesn't stick on the base. And once it becomes thick and rich, then we're almost ready to go. We're going to add a few more things to this. In the meantime, I'm going to shred all of that delicious meat off the ham hock. Well, this is looking really good. You can see how much that rice swirls. Now, we haven't finished yet. A few little things need to go back into the pot. So all that lovely shredded ham hock, along with some frozen peas. These are just baby peas. They can go in. They take no time at all to cook. In fact, I'm just warming them up. I'll also add a splash of cream, just a little one. We'll give that a bit of a stir. And I like my risotto style dishes with lots of parmesan. So a good grating of parmesan. We'll also garnish it with some more. Now, I do need to taste this because I haven't added any salt whatsoever because the ham hock is quite salty. So we'll have a taste. Perfectly seasoned. It doesn't need any more salt. I'm actually just going to add some pepper and no salt, and we can plate up. How good are one pot wonders like this? Just works so well. Okay, we'll scoop this into a shallow bowl. Oh, look at that. A little more. Just give that a bit of a tap. And a few little flourishes, drizzle of extra virgin olive oil over the top, some freshly cracked pepper, if you're a bit of a pepper fan, and some extra parmesan. And that right there is so humble. That's comfort food at its absolute best, all done in one pot. That's my kind of cooking.